Hi there. If you want to learn how to create sound effects, then you are in the right place. In this video series, I'll be breaking down the redesign I did of the game Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. I'll be going over the short clip, all the sounds that I used, effects and processing and everything, all from scratch. I actually haven't even recorded or designed anything yet as I'm recording this, so I'll be doing everything live so you can see my process, my thought process, the sounds I pick, the plugins I pick, and why I'm choosing them, and everything live in real time as I'm kind of designing. So this is the first time I'm trying this, so if you like this type of tutorial, this type of video, let me know in the comments below and I'll make some more. So with that said, let's get right into our project. All right, welcome back to this third part of the redesign I'm doing here for the Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. So let's just keep going where we were, where we left off from the last video. And just to start, I'm just going to start off by just playing what we've done so far, and then we'll keep going. All right, so that's where we are at. Now, right before I started recording here, there was one sound here that I wanted to fix up, and that is the block sound here. And it sounds very wide, and especially on the left. I'm hearing it on the left side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to insert recenter, just to make sure it stays centered here. So I'm just going to narrow the width, make sure it's multiband. Yeah, it sounds a lot better. Perfect. All right, so let's keep going here. So for this third section here, it's pretty much just foley. Like you have him sliding here, then you have him standing up or like powering up. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Right, so it's kind of like this speeding through. And then there's a little block here at the end. So let's have a listen to the original here just to get some a reference. All right, so that's that. So let's just play around with that and see what we can come up with here. So I'm just going to start off here by doing some Foley sounds and just looking through my libraries for different Foley sounds, clothing sounds, rubbing sounds, stuff like that. So I just want to find just a whole bunch of sounds I can maybe start to use for this design. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I found quite a few sounds here. So let's see if I can start lining them up to our game here. So here I have to think about, or right now I'm thinking about two things. One is, so I have my first kind of slide right here. So this is your first slide, and I feel like this is fast, and then you have something happening that's different right here when he starts to stand up, right there, that animation right there. And I want to make those sound different. So this one here, I kind of want to make it sound like it's really fast, like he's just sliding really fast. So I want to be fast and swift. So I don't want it to sound very heavy or anything like that. And then this one here, I want it to sound powerful, like he's getting up and it's like powerful. So for that, I think I'm going to use some lighter sounds for this kind of swift section here. And here I'm going to kind of use maybe something a bit heavier. So I might bring this one over here. Something like that. Okay, so that's okay. And let's see what this one is. See if I can find them. So that's cool. So I have a lot of jean clothing movement here. And what I might actually do is just use an EQ to cut it out. So I like the kind of the higher mid sounds that I have going on here. So I'm just going to bring this up a little and see what that sounds like in context here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. That's the kind of sound I want here. I'm just going to line it up properly. So it's a little too long, so I'm just going to cut this over. Something like that. Okay, I want to see what else I have going here. All right, so this one sounds cool as it is. It might actually layer well with this other one here. So let's put these two together. And yeah, let's see. So I do like it. It might be a little bit too airy, so I'm gonna see if I can maybe put on something like M ratio. Let's see if that works here. I'm gonna play around with track spacer on this one here just to duck this layer here. I'm gonna route it into there. Just gonna play around, just experiment, see how they sound different. Okay, so I think that's okay to start. So for this faster one here, I want more high, more hiss, maybe even. So not that. Maybe this one with a low cut here. Maybe not. Let's try a different one. Okay, so these are not the sounds that I want. Yeah. So I'm going to keep these here for now. Maybe I'll move them off to the side. But I'm going to keep looking for sounds here. They're not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of a sound that is kind of long, like a dragging sound, kind of. So something like you're dragging an object across the floor, something like that. All right, so I found this one here, which is like a wood dragging. So like dragging wood on the ground or something. So let's see. So you can tell it's wood. I want to see if I can make it sound not so wood, not so much like wood. Might not be. This one might not work out. All right, that's not too bad. So right now I don't really hear it, which kind of tells me that either it's not necessary and it shouldn't go there. So I'm just going to see if I add a little bit of those high frequencies, if it helps. If not, maybe I'll just get rid of this layer. Okay, so I'm bringing down the mix a little bit here. This is what I have. So we'll see. What I'd like to do is have a listen to the reference sound just to get an idea. Yeah, so this is like a lot more of a drag sound than. So, yeah, I might use it, might not. I'm gonna try see if I can find some other stuff. All right, so I'm gonna try another one here. This is a pencil writing, just writing on paper or drawing lines on paper. So the action is not quite right. The movement of it is not quite right. So that's a little better. Let's see how it sounds with these other ones. Okay, let's hear it in context here. So I think this is maybe okay. I'm gonna see if I can, I don't know, maybe pitch it down or change it a little bit, see if it sounds any better. Okay, so I like the movement that I was able to get out of this one, but now I have some sort of like resonant frequency or something that I don't like. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, I find there's a lot of high frequency, so I'm trying to find the right balance here between, because I really like the second gesture here where he's like standing up. So I really like that sound right there, but I find that this is not matching this. So I'm trying to get the right tone to be able to match them right now. So I think I'm another. Yeah, I think I have another peak or something up here. Maybe that's what it is. So I'm just going to try to see if I remove that, see if it helps. Seems a little bit better. Maybe if I up the volume a bit. Yeah, seems a bit better. Okay, so I'll leave it for now. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but yeah. So I think that's a good start for that. And then, of course, I have my block here at the end. Now, what I did notice when I was first listening to this, the original clip, is that I have a block here, and this one here in the original sounds quite different. So I'm going to see if I can make it sound different as well. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm actually going to bring it down into this third part, and I'm going to bring it in here. And I'm going to use that as a kind of starting point. And then maybe I can either switch them around or layer other stuff on top of it to make it different. So okay. And I'm now going to see if I can find some other sounds that I can layer with this. All right, so I have quite a few sounds here that I liked. So let's see if I can get these to fit in here. So I'm just going to solo this and let's see what we got. That's okay. Let's try this one here. Oops. So I like that one. I'm just going to get rid of the tail here because I don't want it to ring out. So that's the sound. So that's good. But right now they just sound like sword scrapes, not like. So if we scan through it really slowly, I wonder if like the blades are hitting more. Yeah, so the blades are not really hitting. It's more like a scrape type of sound or movement. I think in the original there's a bit of a hit or like a metal hit, just so it sounds like the knives or the swords are hitting each other. Right, but here it's a lot more scrapey, and I don't know that I want that. Okay, let's get rid of this here, and let's try this last one I got. All right. So I like that sound down here. Now what I'm going to try to do is see if I can get more of a sheathing sound to go along with it. So that's okay. Maybe a bit of uber loud on here. Ooh, that's good. So that sounds interesting to me. So I don't think I need these two anymore. Let's bring these down a little bit. So something's still ringing. It's this one, so I don't want that. Not so harsh. Nice. So let's hear it again in context. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. It's a bit too scrapey. So maybe if I split it. Okay, I'm going to keep these here. I'm going to see if I can find a sheathing sound because it's not quite the characteristic that I want coming out of this. So let's see, sheathing. Okay, so together, let's see in context if it works. And bring down the volume a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. It's okay as a placeholder for now, but I might come back to it. Okay, I'm going to keep looking for sounds. All right, so I've been playing around trying to find some sounds, and here's what I got so far. I'll just play for you, and then I'll show you kind of what I did and what I was thinking about as I was doing this. So the first thing is that I want to make the sound a lot shorter, so that's why you can see I chopped it up, brought everything a bit closer. The other thing I did is I found this sound here. There was kind of a whoosh in there, so I took it off with this EQ here. So if I take it off, you can kind of hear the whoosh in there. But with the EQ, I'm just cutting out all the lows here so you don't really hear it. And then I just really wanted to hear the sword sounds at the beginning and at the end. So that's what I'm doing here. And this also helps to accentuate the sequence of the sword sound here. So that's what this is doing. So if I take it off and we just listen to what we have, right, it just kind of sounds like a scrape, but this kind of adds some sort of structure to it. Like there's two parts, you know, like there's the little whoosh at the beginning and then the swords hitting each other there. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Here, I took this sound out because with it sounded way too scrapey. So maybe I could put that back in as a layer for something like a variation or something like that. But I actually preferred it with it out of there. So like that, I like that sound. So that's what I did there. That's how I got that sound there. So altogether now, this is what we have. Let's listen in context with the original here. So quite a bit different. I think when the main character here stands up, I think mine is a lot more in your face, while the original here is a lot more subtle. All right, so maybe I could bring this down a little bit. See what that sounds like. I think that might be closer to the original here. So they still have a lot more body to there. So I'm going to put this here into a new folder here. I'm going to see if I can maybe add something like either uber loud, maybe OTT. We'll see. I just want to basically push up the mids, maybe even the lows a little bit, but still not make it too loud. So that's pretty good. Let's listen to it in context again. So they still have a bit more bassiness in there. So I'm going to see if maybe I can fake it a little bit, but I don't want to overdo it here. So I'm going to try to be a little bit careful. And let's also try subsynth. Let's overdo it, and then I'll really hone it back here. Right, so that's way too much. Still way too much. And I don't want that sub so much as I want just the beefiness of the low end. So let's bring this down. Yeah, I'm not liking this substance, so actually I'm just going to remove that. I think this might be good just like that, let's say. Even with that, I find it's a little bit too much. Okay, let's listen to it in context. So, I don't know. To me, it's okay. I could probably play around with this, try to switch out different sounds, but to me, it sounds pretty good. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I think it's pretty good so far. So let's have a look at everything that we just worked on in context so far. Here we go. All right, so I think I'm going to stop here for this video, this section. If you like it, let me know. Leave your comments down below. And if you like this kind of new series that I'm working on, if you want to see more of them, more deep, in-depth breakdowns of different redesigns that I'm working on, let me know. And maybe I'll do more of these types of videos in the future as well. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next video, in the next series where we're going to finish off this redesign.